You can't combine that yet.
Okay, now let's try to solve this equation. Miguel, I'm gonna move you on, okay? I want you to try to solve this equation. What about you, Jose? What do we do first?
Take about like 30 more seconds to wrap up your thoughts. Do you have that same thing here? What is this? So does this have a line? You got your difference. Good job. I almost said D. Good job, Miguel. Awesome. Thank you. Sign it. Please, sign it, please.
I'm gonna send a rock pod. I'm gonna sign it officially in black ink.
What?
What does it say?
Are you really going to put your full name?
Bam. Authentic. What's so funny? Yeah. So many signs.
What the?
It's fucking sick.
That's a one, right?
Yeah. Let me fix it.
That was slick,
Perfect. Nothing could be better. Besides my handwriting.
Yeah. No, it's good though. Oh, you did it that way. All right. All right. I want to make sure you got time to practice today. So we're going to take one notice, one similarity, one difference. With a hand, anybody got something that they notice? Oh my God, Wesley, your hand went straight up. Boom. What's something you notice? Please. Oh! Woo! That is...
What about the food stamps last time?
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate your humor. In seriousness, though, Wesley, I think, picked up on the biggest notice. This is the one I was trying to emphasize. In 1A, you have a straight line. Whenever you have a straight line, how much is that?
180.
That's 180 degrees. You don't have a line in 1B. This is not a line. This is not a line. This is not a line. You have a ray, another ray, and then a segment in between them. And that's kind of a difference. Ray versus line. How are they similar, though? Yeah, they both have how many angles? Ooh, that's actually a difference. 4 angles. Yeah, the first one has 3 angles. How many angles are in the second one? 1, 2. That second setup doesn't have 3 angles. But what are the angles in number 1 doing? And what are the angles in number 2 doing? What are the angles in 1A? Yeah, so 120 and 60. And what are the angles in 1B? Yeah, 120 and 160. And 60, sorry. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Ooh. All right, I'll take that. Lourdes, what did you say?
It was a supplementary angle.
Ooh, supplementary. And that's why we study this. I'm foreshadowing like 2 lessons from now when we're going to talk about supplementary angles. Okay? Technically, both pictures are supplementary. Both pictures, the angles add to 180. You're going to learn a term today that describes picture 1A. There's another term that basically means supplementary, but when you say that term, it forces you to draw this picture and not 1B. That's going to be the term I'm going to challenge everyone here to listen out for. All right? Okay. Let's look at Matthew's algebra. All right? Matthew's right over there. Matthew's right over there. Wait.
One over there in the purple shirt.
Good. All right. So Matthew's starting off with an inverse operation. All right. Oh yeah, you did. My bad. Matthew combines like terms on the right side. He gets 5x. Then he's doing an inverse operation. Brings down his math. Next, what'd you do next?
I added the -1.
Yeah. Combine like terms. You get 9. What'd you do next?
I subtracted the 12.
Inverse operation. He wants to get all of his constants onto one side.
Then I got -3 equals 3.
Yeah, and you get what for x? X equals 1. Yeah, but is his solution correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, in math, that's kind of all that matters. If you can do it, that's the important thing. Tomorrow, when we have more time for practice, if you want some suggestions on how to do this, ask Miss Newell or myself, and we'll show you a different method. If this one doesn't work for you, we'll show you another way. Sound good? Cool. All right. Can you take out the notes from yesterday? We're going to pick up on note-taking. What they look like is this.
That's so much better.
Do you have your notes from yesterday? I believe so. I'm looking.
You have the notes from yesterday?
Let's find it right now.
Okay. Oh my goodness. We gotta get you organized.
Relax. What do you mean?
Joel's here, right? Yeah, maximum. Rosanna. Where's Rosanna? Okay. All right. So today's notes, it's a lot less writing. Yeah. There's not as many blanks we got to fill in. So we should be that will give us more time to practice. The first, 3 terms, they're not the most important in the sense someone's going to test you on this. They're more like when someone says the word plane, you should know what they mean in geometry. When you hear plane, you're not thinking Wright brothers. It's not like, hey, we were at LaGuardia Airport and we got onto a plane, right? When you hear plane, what shape are you thinking about? Yeah, square, a rectangle.
Come on, plane flat.
Thank you, Jacob.
Nah.
And then Lizette, what were you saying?
Flat surface.
Flat surface. All of you are writing on planes. Your desks are planes. All I'm trying to communicate to you is that you should have that picture in your head when you hear the word plane. All right? We're not going to really worry about the terminology. No one does that anymore. Collinear points. Collinear points. All right? If you look at this picture, which points do you think are collinear? A, B, and C. Well, which point is not?
D.
Okay. Why? Why is D not? It's not connected to what? So what does what does the word mean? And what are these points supposed to be sharing? So that's the definition of collinear points. It's points that share a line.
I just thought it was interesting. Mr. Elias gave you some examples like cohabitate or collinear, but he didn't mention co-teach. Co-teach would be that the teachers share a class. Nobody finds that interesting?
No.
That you have to share a class?
We share a class.
Well, I share a class. I don't know if Mr. Elias shares a class. He didn't list it.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired.
I don't get it.
Yeah, look.
It was just a joke. It's a joke. It's a teacher joke. I don't get it.
Why you can't keep it to the teacher?
These are all the teachers.
Yeah.
Those are all the teachers that I share a class with. All right.
It was.
Where's Miss D? Miss taking
Oh my God.
I'm trying to see the short points on Bob. Alright, I stopped.
You go out. All right. So coplanar. What do you think coplanar points are?
I see what
Miguel, in your own words, what do you think coplanar points are? Boom. That's literally it. Points that are in the same flat surface. They share a plane. Awesome. Yep. Coplanar. Okay. All right. Opposite rays and down. This is where we're going to start getting into the stuff that's really important for today. Okay. What needs to be in our picture for opposite rays?
2 lines.
So end line, yeah, that connect
And then,
one endpoint.
and then how many of them?
One. Wait. I have to read it.
See, two.
Where? Oh,
Two, wait,
that's too great. And it has to equal 180.
Ooh.
Alright.
If we put all of that together, Lizette's saying, look, they gotta have like the same starting point. And then one of them is gonna go out.
Another one can go out.
And then what must they make?
A straight line.
Yeah, so I can't draw it like that. You have to draw it in such a way
Oh!
that they make a straight line.
Shut up, I didn't know.
Because whenever you have a straight line, how many degrees are on that line?
180.
180. And that is why we need to have that term, opposite rays. Because whenever you hear that, it promises you 180 degrees. You could hear this called a line. Sometimes it's called a straight angle. But they're all different ways to get you to draw that picture. So in today's practice assignment, you're going to be asked to make diagrams. You can use your notes and be like, oh, problem 2 says the term opposite ray. Use that picture as a guide. Okay? All right. Next term, linear pair. If we just study that word, what are some things that jump out at you? Matthew.
Like, there's at least 2 long.
There's at least 2 of something. Oh, it says what? It says line. It says line. All right. So if we look at the definition, 2 adjacent what?
Angles.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
What do those adjacent angles have to make?
Linear pair. Wait.
It has to be linear.
No,
What-
it doesn't.
So if we look at the term linear pair, it looks like the thing that we have a pair of are angles because we have 2 of them. And what are these 2 adjacent angles? What thing do they need to create?
Straight line.
That's literally what a linear pair is. All that other stuff is whatever. All right? I'll do the picture first.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it does, right? So fix it. Fix this drawing. It wants you to draw in.
Oh, we didn't use the tablet. Go ahead.
Drawing what?
Fix that.
What would have to get added to this picture to make 2 adjacent angles?
Right?
Boom. Yeah, that's the difference.
That line though.
Where do you remember? Where do you remember seeing this picture?
In
There
the
you
front.
go.
Yeah, in the launch. This is what Lourdes was saying. Supplementary, right? A linear pair will promise you 2 angles, angle 1 and angle 2, that add to 180 degrees. It also promises you that they'll be adjacent. That was the difference between 1A and 1B. 1B wasn't adjacent. So whenever you hear the term linear pair, you are drawing that shape. Linear pair promises you that.
Wait, does it matter if the arrow is that way or the other way?
That I'm kind of fine with. You can kind of put it any way you want. And that blank I had opposite rays. But Matthew said, look, the non-common sides make a line. So you could say line instead. Opposite rays and line are the same thing. Okay. Last but not least, midpoint. Diane, I'm going to call on you to fill in that blank, all right? So while we're reading, start coming up with an answer, okay? The midpoint of a segment is the point that divides the segment into 2. What do you think, Diane? Okay, well, look at the picture. Which point looks like the midpoint? M. And where is M? It's in the middle. What is M doing to that total 8? It's splitting it how? And what do you notice about those two parts? And that's literally what a midpoint does. It splits it into 2 equal parts. And what we'll say in geometry classes, congruent midpoint is a segment. Good? Okay. We're going to fill in this notation thing. I understand that the 2 parts are 4 and 4. You could take 8, divide it by 2, and you'll get the 2 congruent pieces. But sometimes, like in a couple units, they're not going to give you numbers. They're just going to tell you, M is a midpoint of segment AB. What can you tell me based on that? Okay, you say nothing, but you can actually tell me something. What's the name of this segment here? So AM must be congruent to what? Yeah, that's literally something you can tell me. You might not know what AM is, but if you knew what AM was, what must NB be? Yeah, it must be the same. It must be congruent. Good. All right, we good on that? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's all for notes. We're going to practice. All right? And before we hand out I gotta get over this. Please, yeah. Thank you. So, Newell is handing out your practice for today. Don't look at my stuff.
You guys so tiny.
Question number 3, I'm going to leave up on the board because I made a typo. So as soon as you get your work, can you change that angle to RMZ? That problem shouldn't make sense unless you have that. Jacob, who are you allowed to work with today? Ooh, thank you, Lizette.
Oh, what's up, poppin', dude?
All right, elbow partners. Any questions before we start practicing? No. Any volunteer to do number 1 on the tablet? Yeah, Mark? Start thinking if you want to be the next volunteer. You can practice there or type there, whatever you want. Okay.
What?
Oh, you said R.
Mister. All right, take it.
Just with your finger, touch it.
Yeah.
You can literally put your hand on.
I tried doing that, but
It's fine. You'll figure it out. Put it out.
So draw and label diagram. They give me this picture. So that the next one is that this part will be 15 as well, right? I don't know. So you should show all the information on label diagram.
Isn't that only like that? Like, yeah. That's something else. I'm just showing you, if you want to do diagrams, yeah. And the last thing I'll show you is.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do the next one?
Put in the congruence marks. That's excellent.
What do you mean the congruence?
What's that? Tell Mark about congruence
So to show that it's congruent, they're both congruent, right? So to show that they're both congruent, you put a little tick mark.
Like right here?
Yeah. So boom, boom, 2 on each side.
Oh yeah.
To show that they're congruent. They're called tick marks.
Right, shut up.
Did you get a chance to read? Now we need to figure out what's the name of those pair of animals.
Today is 13.
In the problem. You've done so one of these angles will be you need to do it in such a way. Look at your notes, look at your hair, and then draw that without the letters. We'll use this and this to help you out. Thank you, Mark. Keep on going. M. So I know it's you. You're
DQP and then PQE. And then this one equals 140.
Yep, that looks perfect.
And this
Awesome. And then how much would all of that?
180.
Can you put in number 2 and then sign it?
Where do you get the E from?
Oh shit. Can I draw? I can never draw a straight line.
But wait, how is it DQE? When is DQP?
It's not DQE. It is DQP. But there's an E. I don't know. He just added another angle to it.
So P would be the line that has to go up?
No, that's Q. Oh no, yeah, P would be.
You're gonna have to figure out.
No, it wasn't tripping.
But DQP equals is more than this.
And where does
Should have drew it the other way. It doesn't matter. Finally drew it right.
Too much drawing. Finished. Do you have to draw the little angle thing?
Huh?
Do you have to draw the little angle thing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna remember this. Linear pair. Draw.
Bro, my handwriting ugly, bro.
Man, smart.
I'm not smart.
Yes, you are.
I'm okay.
I'm a dumb.
I mean, I struggle a lot. Like,
You
what's
don't look like you struggle.
it does. What the? How do you undo something? Okay.
You put the eraser there.
Okay, this is D, and then this is Q, this is E, and then this is B. Alright.
I see that you marked these as priorities. So
Hell no. Mm-mm. Okay.
what do I know?
No.
So you look
That's my signature.
Alright, I got you. Let me use this.
You're doing three?
but yours is so
Nah, I'm fine. I wanted to write my name.
Go ahead.
Write my initial. Got you. Write my initial.
But then write mine. Write mine. You after you went to erase yours and then write mine.
Alright. And then I'm gonna erase it. See, light work. What I told you. You have to erase it with this. And I'm gonna write yours. Alright.
Why did you erase it?
Why? Oh, so I can write your name. Oh, so it could be your word. I got you. Alright. Huh. Be careful, you drop the tablet.
So then, here's this.
how you guys doing?
That's hello though.
Because they're going to need
Wait.
Okay, so
Wait, I want to write
no,
something. Wait, I'm serious about
this
this.
symbol
That is
is
gray.
Ray
But how?
and Ray MS are opposite rays.
Oh, because he equals 180.
Isn't it a magnet? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could stick. Oh, that's good. Yo, that's fine.
No, please don't do it. No.
Yo, this tablet is fun to play with. Oh wait, no, it's like that. It's like no. Wait, what should I write? I was gonna write what's poppin', but it's hella good. What should I write? Huh? Oh, Brianna.
That actually just erased myself.
I don't know what to write.
Is not long.
Damn.
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, your initials?
Yeah, and somebody erased the D. It was just
Oh, why
I.
are they playing with that? I did not erase it.
ADK. I missed it, I'm done. Let me chill. How do you put better?
Huh?
You know how you got like, you know this symbol?
Oh, like an arrow? Like an inequality?
How do you put better? It's heavy. How do you put better than? Yeah, more than.
I remember, I think right here.
Better than.
Greater than is this one and less than is that one.
I'm not doing it right.
So you're saying LeBron is less than KD?
Yes. Can you write it? I'm gonna start on. Did you do 4?
Wait, yo, my handwriting mad good, yo. I can't.
Mr.
Alright. I'm gonna put it. Wait, I forgot to spell LeBron. Yeah. I spelled it the first time.
How we doing?
We're done.
I'm done with everything.
There's no back.
No.
I'm surprised.
He good like that.
Mr. I'm done. Mr. Life.
Right next to it.
Can I leave this here for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Alright, I see. So that would be him, right?
well, okay. So you're gonna call it. So let's look at. Let's try it.
But you fixed it.
I know. Do you see how it starts at N and it keeps on going in the direction of R? This is backwards. Because
Because that would be that M is the
and that
Like that, right?
yeah, and that will make sense because if this is N, then you can go on forever in the direction of R, and you can also go on forever in the direction of S. Think about where that's going. Good. Welcome. Anybody for number 3 on the tablet?
I'll do it. I'm gonna go sit down.
Careful.
Yeah.
Don't trip.
I wanted to do it.
Nah, here. Oh, I can do it? Yeah, number 3.
Oh, I feel special right now. Oh, I feel special. Oh.
I want to be special.
Special ed?
Yo.
You got it.
Can you stop moving the fucking chair?
We're kind of
It's calling you stupid.
You got 5 more minutes. You got 5 more minutes. Take 30 seconds to wrap up your work, and then we're going to move to the exit ticket, okay?
Wait, can you share a pencil?
Nope.
No, it is horrible. This shit does horrible.
It's meant for a pen, and you just fucked it up. You want to do 4?
I don't want to do that shit. I'm nervous. Oh, wait, 4?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the easiest
Exactly.
Are you sure you're gonna trust me with this? This is my first time ever doing it.
Yeah, just don't drop it and you're good.
Alright, I'm nervous. My hands are shaking, bro.
You're special for one?
Yeah, bro. Yo, I have horrible handwriting as well. So.
You want me to do it then?
Yeah, you can. Actually, I can do that. I believe in myself.
If you want, I can do the letters, but you do the...
I'm going to come around with an index card. This will be your
it's
exit
perfect.
ticket.
That's totally and he is
Jose, right?
Yo, I'm not Jose, bro. I'm Joel.
Wow.
That's totally
Can you hand out exit tickets?
and done.
You're not And then the exit ticket is up on the board, all right? Give me half. Exit ticket is up on the board, all right? Exit ticket is up on the board.
Big man, big man.
That's some really good work, and you can take credit for it.
Oh, what's your name?
You're Mr. P.
You're on set?
You don't have to-
Oh wait, I didn't get one.
We're gonna
Give everybody
collect
cookies.
the assignment you worked on today tomorrow. You're working on your exit ticket. Working on that exit ticket. You got about 3 more minutes. Exit ticket.
You didn't get it? And you panicked. Yes, it's the same one. Yeah.
Otherwise,
So you,
When you're parent.
Okay. Draw a picture of a segment within the